Hello, my loves, it's Liz Ann here. Today I want to share with you 10 things that happy vibe people do on a regular basis. And then I wanted to share with you a happy vibe morning routine to set your day right. So whatever you vibe, you attract. So if you vibe out negativity, if you vibe out criticism, if you vibe out anger, then you're going to attract that type of vibe back into your life. So there is a saying, as within, so without. So when we look out at our life and we don't like what we see and we feel like it's really negative, and maybe we have very negative people in our lives and perhaps situations that we wish we weren't in. Well, we have to really begin, in order to change this, we have to begin within. We have to begin to create the world and the vibe that we want inside ourselves. And this is an empowering thing to do. Otherwise, we consider ourselves victimized. And as long as we are victimized, we have no power over our life. But once we realize the areas that we do have power, it shifts everything. And what we do have power over is our vibe and what we put out into the world. So stay tuned, because we're going to talk about in this video 10 things that high vibe happy people do regularly, and a good high vibe morning routine to start your day off right. So really quickly, I just wanted to preface this with a little bit of my own story. So I was raised in a very religious environment, yet an abusive environment, because most of you know that I had a father that was an alcoholic, and he was very religiously fanatical, and I didn't have a whole lot of normalcy in my life at all. To top this off, there was a ton of negativity around me all the time because my parents fought. My dad was a mean drunk. My mother was very negative, and you just could not make her happy. Very, very rarely did I ever see her very happy. And so I was raised in a very negative environment. And then I set out to be a positive person. And I did pretty well for a while. I was just like more of a happy-go-lucky kind of girl for a while, but I was unhealed. And because of this, I ended up attracting things into my life that were going to kind of force me to start to heal some of the issues that I had. And one of the things was a relationship that I attracted, or relationships, not just the one main one, but many other ones along the way. And going into another religion that was pretty fanatical. And I was in there for almost 18 years. And it had its side of positivity, and there were things about it that I loved, and I could feel joyful at times, but underlying everything they taught was deep fear. And because of this, it turned out to be another very negative influence in my life. And so I had a lot of negativity around me. I was steeped in it, and it brought me down eventually when I got into my 40s to a place where I was extremely depressed, and even, playing around with suicidal thoughts. And I don't want to go into detail with that because it's very personal, but anyhow, that's where I started. And when I went through a healing journey, the first 2 years were really grueling. But as I began to let go of some of the beliefs that had been imposed upon me and start to really search my soul for what I wanted to anchor in, and the beliefs I really, really could grab hold of, I learned about the chakra system. I learned about energy and how it works, and I learned about vibrations, and thus I started a Facebook page in the beginning, and then a YouTube channel here that I originally called High Vibes Life, and I have a website that's my High Vibes Life website. But the whole point was I realized the power of our vibration, and that my greatest power and the greatest influence I could have, positive influence I could have in this world, was to really work on bringing my personal vibes up the vibrational scale. And so you guys could look up and Google vibrational scales, but they, usually on the lowest rung is fear and hatred. And then up here on the highest rung is complete joy and elation and love. And so I always aim in my life to keep myself at a vibration of unconditional love and above. And that has served me so greatly. It has helped me, and it hasn't been just an easy overnight thing. I had to climb up that scale. You can't just jump from being down here in this negativity and jump. But you have to do the work. You have to practice. You have to put into practice new ways of being if you're going to shift. And it doesn't matter what situation you're in. One of the things I find with my clients is they want the answers to, especially I have a lot of clients that call me because they're in very unhappy relationships, and they feel like their happiness is all dependent on whether or not their spouse changes. And I did another video, and I'll put a link below not too long ago, where I addressed the whole idea of what you can expect from, in this case, a narcissist, but really anybody. You can't go into a relationship hoping that even if things get bad, that you will have the power to change somebody in any way, that your love is just going to be the be all end all of your relationship. It's just going to be enough, because everybody is responsible for their own vibration and what they bring to the table. And not everybody is even going to take that responsibility. Not everybody wants to take responsibility for keeping their energy clean and their vibes high. But I'm telling you, that has made all the difference in the world for me. That is what ultimately lifted completely depression off of me. And it's not that I don't ever have little bouts of it once in a while, because sometimes it will kind of sneak up on me again, but I recognize it. I'm able to know what I need to do to get my vibes back up, and I just don't sink like I used to. I believe that collectively, the world is in a huge transition, and people are becoming more and more aware of how much and how important it is to be responsible for the energy that we are putting out there, the vibe that we are putting out in the world. It is so much more, it's like the root. It's like, the old analogy of, you can either cut off the branches and cut the tree down, and then it's just going to regrow, or you can get in there and dig up the roots. And the vibration, where we are vibrationally, that is the root. It's like getting down to the root of things. And the root of it all is your vibration. And what influences your vibration is your actions and your beliefs and your thoughts. So those are the biggest influence. It's like the story that the storyline that you tell yourself when things happen around you influences your vibration. So in other words, when you're driving down the road and somebody cuts you off and you almost hit them and you're angry, and then you start telling yourself the storyline, he's such a jerk, and then you start broadening that, people are such a-holes, and I'm so sick of this, and I wish I could live somewhere else. And you're telling yourself this negative storyline instead of maybe starting to practice. Somebody cut you off, and at first you feel angry, but you go, well, you know what? Maybe they didn't see me. Maybe they didn't realize I was there. And even if they did, I don't have any control how this person acts. And just because this person acts like that, there's hundreds of other cars around me that aren't cutting me off. There's a lot of good people in the world. So it's that kind of thing. It's kind of like telling yourself a different story about things and having new beliefs and new ways of thinking and new ways of being. And so in this video today, I particularly wanted to talk about 10 things that many happy vibe people do on a regular basis. Because I believe that when we recognize those 10 things, and other things, you could add more to your list as you observe and watch people that are naturally happy. And I'm not talking about a forced happiness, because there are people that get in a crowd and they just try to be, oh, you know, I'm the happy person and everybody, I'm so happy and everything makes me ha 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 laugh, and they're really loud, but then when they, you know, behind closed doors or by themselves, they're very miserable. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just a real sense of happiness, a real sense of well-being that permeates your life, that's very sincere and very real inside of you, that bubbles out and just naturally flows out. That's the type of happiness I am aiming for. I am aiming for the highest vibe I can get to. I'm aiming for angelic realms. So anyhow, let's get to the 10 things that I have observed that happy people do and that we can start incorporating, because it is, again, how we affect our vibes is by our beliefs, by our thoughts, and by our actions. And so all three of those play into this. And so actions play into it. So even if you do things and you still have thoughts and beliefs, it'll bring those, as you do those things, it'll bring those to the surface a lot of times, and then you can start questioning those thoughts and beliefs and doing work on that, which is another video. But right now, let's talk about the 10 things that happy people do. Okay, one of the first things that I have noticed that people that have a high vibe and are happy do is they laugh a lot. They watch comedies. They see the humor in life. They watch people and they laugh at things. You know, they laugh at their spouse's jokes, whether they're a dry joke or a funny joke. They just see the humor in life. The happiness is bubbling over into laughter. And going right along with that, they smile. So happy people naturally smile, where people that are negative and unhappy, happy naturally look very sober and frown a lot, which has been me. I've had to actually practice smiling again in the last 10 years of my life. Happy vibe people dance. They listen to upbeat music. They love to express their happiness through movement and in their movement. Happy vibe people get up and get dressed up. So most happy vibe people that I know don't look frumpy most of the time. They may have frumpy days. I mean, we all have them, right? Or those days that we're just gonna stay in our pajamas or whatever. But for the most part, and most of the time, they get up, they get dressed, they do their makeup or put on some clothes that make them feel good, and they're ready to face the world looking and feeling like like $1 million bucks. I was gonna say $100. I'm like, that's not very much nowadays. Like $1 million bucks. Happy vibe people pick up. In other words, they pick up after themselves. They make their beds. They put their clothes in the dirty clothes. When they're done with that cup of coffee, they rinse it out and stick it in the dishwasher. They don't let things pile up around them. They keep things up as they go. Happy vibe people do what they love to do. So when they're planning their day and they're planning their life, they're consistently planning things that they are going to enjoy. I have not known happy vibe people that are on this self-sacrificing path. They may do kind things once in a while for somebody, but the bulk of their life is focused on, hey, what do I want to do? What feels good to me? What are my hobbies? What do I love? And who could I go do that with? So they do what they love to do. Happy vibe people get out. They don't just hibernate in their homes all the time. They get out, they go shopping, they go out in nature, they move about and enjoy the life around them and the world around them. They're not isolated. Happy vibe people are focused. They're not so scatterbrained and all over the place. They don't try to do 1,000,001 things. They know how to prioritize their life and to let the rest fall by the wayside. Happy vibe people live in integrity. They have an innate sense of what is wrong and right in their own lives. And they won't be doing things behind closed doors that they feel ashamed of. They live in integrity. You know you're not going to turn your back on them, and they're going to be really sweet to your face and then turn around and stab you in the back as soon as you walk away. Happy vibe people are not like that. They live in integrity, they're sincere, and they are, you can take them at face value. So those are 10 things that I have observed personally in happy vibe people that we can start to incorporate in our own lives to help bring our own vibes up and to be more happy. So now I would like to give you a morning routine that I practice that has helped me tremendously. And again, I want to just back it up a little bit to say, I used to wake up in the morning and in dread, just like, oh my gosh, and I didn't do that on purpose. I would just wake up and I would just think, because I'd been so steeped in depression for so long. And it was frustrating because I just wanted to wake up and feel good, but it would be like I have to get up and have to get going and I have to work my vibes up. And it took me a long time to get a good routine going that actually became habitual and has finally, I can say, shifted me to where I don't no longer wake up that way, where I feel like, oh my gosh, another day I have to deal with. Where I actually wake up and I'm starting to be really excited about what this day is going to hold. So I want to share this routine with you. I have worked this routine out. I am not an extremely routine type of person, but I have found that in the mornings, starting my day out with a good, solid, happy vibe routine makes all the difference in the world of how I feel the rest of the day, about myself, about life, everything. And there's more that I could add than what I'm even going to give you here. And, you know, maybe in future videos, we'll talk more about that, or I'll have classes. I don't know yet. But right now, this is just the bare bones, the bare minimum that can really start shifting you to start your day off right and to feel better throughout the day. Once you start shifting and you start doing these things and realizing, wow, they really does make a difference. It really does work. You start to feel empowered and you start to get a little bit excited about life again, because depression is just apathy. It's just like sitting around. I don't know what I want to do with life. I mean, nothing interests me. And it's just, you're so out of touch with life itself. And that it's hard to move forward, period. I mean, I just said this to a friend of mine the other day. Depression is a bitch. It is difficult to navigate and overcome. And I know when I was suffering so much with depression, it was like, I didn't know if I would ever be a person that could just be naturally happy again. And now I can say, yes, I am. I feel very naturally happy. I feel very calm inside. I feel very serene and at peace. Does that mean I feel like at 24/7? No, I mean, there are times I get angry. Things start to bother me a little bit, but this routine helps. The things that I've learned over the years, to the tools I've gained to navigate that, I'm able to nip it in the bud now. And it is just amazing how much better I feel inside and how much happier I am and back in tune with my life and who I am. Here are 7 things that you can start practicing in the mornings as a routine to start your day off right. Number 1, as soon as you open your eyes and wake up, name 3 things that you're thankful for. Okay, so what used to happen in the past is I would wake up and again, I would have that feeling of, oh, here I am. And all the things from the day before, all the things that had been bothering me before I went to sleep that night just start flooding right back in. They're still there. I'm still dealing with them. And so I wanted to interrupt that thought process. And so I started opening my eyes and saying good morning and putting a smile on my face and naming 3 things, whether I felt like it or not, and naming 3 things I was thankful for. And let me tell you, sometimes those 3 things were the same 3 things over and again. But I felt like it was a start. Some people have told me, well, I like to try to challenge myself and name 3 different things I haven't ever named before. Well, I don't want to put pressure on anybody to challenge themselves. I want this to be something that flows. So if it's the same 3 things every day, my big ones that I always went to was, I was thankful for a warm home. I was thankful for inside plumbing. And I was thankful for that comfortable bed that I was sleeping in. Those were my 3 go-tos. But, there were mornings that I changed it up some. But the main thing is naming 3 things as soon as you wake up that you're thankful for. Then after you name those 3 things, imagine that you wake up and everything in your life is perfect. So like it's Christmas morning and Santa Claus came the night before and made everything right in your life that was ever wrong. Just imagine what that would be like. Think about it. Lay there and just think about it a minute. Santa Claus came last night and I have everything I want. Just tell yourself that and let that excitement begin to lift your vibe a bit. Don't go into a story about, well, it's not really like that. And, don't even do that. Just allow yourself to feel what that would feel like. Because again, we can't attract that until we start feeling that and raising our vibe. So allow yourself to just bask in that and get up feeling a little bit excited. Like I'm going to go out and everything's going to be perfect. Just tell yourself, my life is perfect. My life is beautiful. My life is everything I'd ever wanted it to be. The universe is for me. The universe loves me. The universe is taking care of me. It is true. I can attract anything I want. It's happened and everything is just perfect. Just like feel that and get excited about that. Let those vibes permeate you inside and just imagine that and have fun. Have fun. Doesn't hurt to have fun with things sometimes, no matter what's going on around us. So when you get up and you've named the 3 things and you're telling yourself everything's perfect, let a little bit of silliness and maybe dance a little, let a little bit of silliness rise up in you and say, good morning, say it out loud, open your windows and say, good morning, world. Just do anything that just like you're this lighthearted person, like switch it up a little bit, splash some cold water on your face, do anything that kind of just perks you up a little bit. So now that you're up and awake, the next thing that you should do is meditate. I probably tell people this in every video I do, and there's a reason for it, because meditation is powerful. So, and I have clients that resisted meditation and that have started meditation, and they tell me the same thing, that it makes such a difference when they meditate. So you don't have to meditate for a long time. Sit there for 10 minutes, sit up in your bed, close your eyes, and just turn your mind off for 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Just turn your mind off. Be present in your room or on the couch or wherever you are in your meditation. Be present for 10 minutes with yourself. Feel your body. Tell your body, I love you. So go to your feet and say, good morning, feet. Relax, I love you. Go to your legs. Good morning, legs. Relax, I love you. Go to your pelvic area. Good morning, pelvis area. Relax, I love you. However you want to do that. And just go all the way up until you get up to the top of your head and just saying, good morning, I love you, self. Just send those good vibes and just clear your mind of the chatter. Just don't let other chatter. Now, other chatter will try to come in. You're taking 10 minutes to do this, and you're going to be late, and you still got to do this, and what about that? And you're going to forget about that. If you turn your mind off, you're going to forget. I mean, all these things. But just as much as possible, and as you practice, it'll get easier. Turn it off. Say, it's only 10 minutes. I have 10 minutes to do this. So meditate for 10 minutes. Number 5 is when you're done meditating, read some positive affirmations or write some positive affirmations down. Now, I know I don't use apps, but there are apps that you can get on your phone that will give you a daily positive affirmation. When I do positive affirmations, I tend to write out positive affirmations that I'm needing in my life at that time, the things that I'm trying to, working on, shifting and pivoting in my life, maybe some negative areas or some areas of doubt or whatever. And I'm working on pivoting, and I've worked on making positive affirmations around those things. So say some positive affirmations. If you haven't worked on positive affirmations yet, maybe get an app that will give you one, or and just for just a couple minutes, just to say a couple positive affirmations and really try to feel them as much as possible. So if you say, like, I have a beautiful life, right? Just try to feel that. What does a beautiful life feel like? I have a beautiful life. I contribute beauty to the world all around me. I create beauty around me. And that's one of my positive affirmations. So do some positive affirmations. Number 6, and this is important, decide how you want your day to feel. And when you do that, the best way to do this is to ask yourself, well, how do I feel this morning? And what do I need? And then once you kind of get an idea, sometimes it'll be really clear and sometimes it'll be kind of vague, it doesn't matter. Just say, how do I feel and what do I need? So maybe you feel particularly just wore out, you've had a long week and you just feel like you need rest. And so you're gonna decide, well, today I am just gonna feel so relaxed and I'm gonna be very paced, I'm not gonna be hurried, and I want today to feel unhurried and relaxed, and I want it to feel bright and healing, and you just decide how you want your day to feel. And then just say it out loud. Say, today I want today, and say it in this way. Today, wouldn't it be nice? And I got this from Abraham Hicks, and it's called the Wouldn't It Be Nice If, and she tells it in a different way, but wouldn't it be nice if today was just a very nice pace and I was just relaxed and I felt really good. It might be that you feel energetic and you just are really wanting something exciting. So instead of how do I feel, what I need being to be rest and relaxation, maybe you want something, I want to feel excited about life, So wouldn't it be nice if today just felt completely exciting and engaging? And wouldn't it be nice if everybody I ran into just felt that way too, that it was just full of happiness and life? And wouldn't it be nice if the sun was bright and the birds were chirping, whatever, I don't know what works for you, but wouldn't it be nice if, once you decide how you want the day to feel, then say out loud, wouldn't it be nice if, and then that this day was blah, 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 and say that out loud. Okay, and I'm gonna top this last number 7 off. I have been practicing this and I teach it in my Genuine Self-Love course. It's one of the first things we do. And it's the simplest thing, but it does make a difference in how I feel. And if I skip it, I feel it. And that is, I drink 16 ounces of water as soon as I get up and go in the kitchen. And I squeeze a half a lemon into it. Now, if I don't feel like having lemon, I'll put like a half a teaspoon of baking soda in it. And what that does is it keeps the water from making me feel nauseous, because sometimes drinking water straight out on an empty stomach can give you a little bit of nausea. And when I put lemon in it or baking soda in it, then I don't feel nauseated. Just go in the kitchen, pour yourself a 16-ounce glass of water, squeeze a half a lemon in it, or put a half a teaspoon of baking soda in it and stir it up and drink it down. Go, 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 go. Hydrate your body. It does so much for you. Many people get up and go straight for the coffee, and coffee is dehydrating and think, oh, I gotta wake up. And I love my coffee. I have my coffee afterwards, about a half hour later. But so I love my coffee too. That's important to me too. But your body has lost all kinds of moisture through the night. It's dehydrated. Your system's getting going. When you drink that water, you bring in some hydration, you get your digestion moving. And so it kind of gets the insides going too. So you're getting your outsides going, and this is getting your insides moving and activated and awake. And it is just refreshing. It's kind of like splashing that water on your face. It kind of wakes you up. It makes you feel right away like you're doing something to take care of yourself and to love on yourself. And it's such a simple thing to implement in your life, such a simple little thing. So that's it. In this video, I've given you 10 things that happy vibe people do regularly. And I've also given you 7 things that you can do first thing in the morning that would take about a half hour total tops to do, and to get your morning started right and to get up in that happy vibe to begin with. So I hope it's helpful for you. If you have found value in this video, you can help support me by giving it a thumbs up, by subscribing to my channel, and don't forget to hit the bell, because the bell is what's going to inform you on your YouTube channel when I have created a new video. If you don't hit the bell, you might not see my videos as they come up. So Don't forget to subscribe, hit the video. And another thing you could do is comment. I would love to know first if you're going to try any of these, if you do any of these and they help. And also what you do, like what are things that you do to help get your vibe going and get you awake in the morning. And also if you could share it, please, if you have friends that you know that have a hard time, that are going through depression, or that just are having a hard time struggling with different things in their lives, maybe you could share this video with them and say, hey, I really like this. I got some value out of it. I thought maybe you might enjoy it as well. I hope you have a great day. Signing off.